I'm Buddy Glasscoe. I'm a builder and designer in the area. I grew up in Kernersville, North Carolina, maybe 15 miles from where we currently live.
And I'm Susan Bradford. I grew up in Florida, but this has been home for 26 years, and we're a husband and wife team.
I grew up in the trade. I was introduced to it with my dad, my uncles, and the folks, the builders around in the Kernersville area. I did side jobs through the summers, and when I was not in school, I was actually tarring basements and doing things like that to be introduced to the art of building. As I grew, my dad, when I was ready to move on to a career, my dad said I had to go get a real job. So I moved into the corporate world. I worked as a machinist for a short period of time, and then moved into the purchasing department in a large manufacturer of large woodworking machinery. While I was working there, I was doing jobs on the side and designing neat little projects, and enjoyed it a lot. So after being in the corporate world for about 10 years and doing things on the side, I'd climbed that ladder of success, as they call it, and realized my ladder was against the wrong wall. I walked in one day, had a wife, 2 kids at home, and a mortgage, and I resigned. I had one project lined up, had no idea where it was headed from there, but made the jump. And I don't know that I have a favorite project. There were many projects. I did connect and learned that I really enjoyed the designing and the creative part, and seeing a project from the beginning to the end. I think some of the more rewarding things that happened throughout the career. One day doing a project, and I thought I was just a builder, and a lady called me an artist. Really got my attention. I thought artists were people that wrote books and sang, and never related the two to one another. But it opened my eyes to the possibility of creating some art in the work. I consider the home building aspect of it more than just a builder and building a home. We like to build a legacy with our clients, and something we can look back on. The most rewarding part is making friends with our clients. Some become really close friends, and we walk away from projects very satisfied with what we've done, particularly, again, the creative part. But as a builder, I feel like there is an obligation to do something and do it, for one, a little different, but mostly to do it right.
I wanted to say that one of the most wonderful parts of watching you work with clients is that you form such great they trust you. They trust your artful eye, and you've created this following of people that want to see what Buddy Glasscoe can do as he's building their home, and that's a really fascinating skill to have, because people get enthusiastic about seeing what you're going to put together for them. And now our work is word of mouth, that people have told their friends and their relatives, and the word has spread. And so he's been very successful with his artful eye and his attention to detail, and enjoying the creative part of it. I don't think he would do it if he didn't get to do the creative part as well, for sure.
No, I think it would get a little boring.
Yeah.
We do enjoy a team ourselves. Susan is very creative with her aspect of our building and our profession. Susan not only is our in-house kitchen and bath designer, but she's very involved with all aspects of it. Actually makes my life pretty easy these days. I get to goof off a little bit.
Well, we're a good team because we bounce things off of each other throughout the whole project. So it's kind of like if one of us gets writer's block, we say, hey, look at this. What do you think? And we get each other over a hump if we seem to be stuck somewhere. And that's a wonderful thing to have somebody on your side to get through that little hump. But it seems that, energy begets energy. Once something's rolling and we're sharing that information with each other, it just blossoms. So the whole project just grows, and it becomes even more exciting.
I think it's fun to tell this story. When I met Susan, I was building a house, and she was, again, in the kitchen and bath business. And I kind of thought I could get a deal on some cabinets if I married her. So I asked her to marry me, and she did, but I didn't get a deal on the cabinets.
It's certainly not saved him any money.
We've worked together. We've really come to enjoy this endeavor of modern homes. We found a niche that we're very passionate about. We've gotten a lot of support from folks from the North Carolina Modernist Houses organization, local architects, many homeowners and visitors that see our projects. They add value to our sense of being with this endeavor.
We have built every style home you can imagine. We are most satisfied with a modern approach. We incorporate sustainable practices. We incorporate energy efficiency. All these things are meaningful to us, and so that's what started us down this path, isn't it? We were kind of taking inventory of things that really were meaningful to us, and the style and the clean lines of modern design. It was interesting that so many people in the area, you just don't see it very much, even though we have the third largest population of modern homes in the States. They're usually tucked away and people don't even know it. And in North Carolina, it's fascinating when people see this work. It's like something they've never seen before. It's so much fun to introduce that concept of the modern home.
I think the word modern, people have a idea that modern is some of this stuff that doesn't sell. It's interesting and we like it, but when people are introduced to it and they actually get to experience what a modern home is all about and the clean lines, people, they come away with a different approach. I had a gentleman approach me just this week about building a modern home, and he said, I'm interested, but I owned one in the 70s and I couldn't sell it. I'm hoping things have come around. And I said, absolutely, things have come around. We had a tour of this home. We actually had 2 tours. One of them was local people, and they were fascinated with the home and the architecture. We had maybe 300 people come through, and it was an absolute hit. Everyone just loved the house. Half of them said, I want one like this. The NC Modernist Houses tour, same thing. We had maybe 300 people come through the house for that tour, and it was very rewarding to hear the things people said about the house and about the architecture. People from all over the state. We actually are designing 3 homes now for folks that didn't know much about modern homes, didn't just, again, heard the word modern and never went any further with it. And after they saw what modern can be, it's modern covers a large, I guess it's a blanket that covers a large spectrum of architectural design. And these folks fell in love with it. They fell in love with the simple designs, the simple lines, but but actually the integrity of the home. I think there's a misconception there that modernist homes are more expensive. I've found that they are not. They're less expensive to build than the traditional home with the cut-up rooms and the gables that are everywhere and the roof systems. Most modernist homes are very simple, and I think they are a more affordable approach to building.
Of course, you can also get more extravagant with a modernist home with the more glazing and taller roof lines and multiple. I mean, you can start wherever, you can take it wherever you want to go, but you don't have to go to the extreme to get a beautiful home. I think that's the beauty of the modern home, is it doesn't have to be the extreme
Right.
3-story. It can be artful even on a smaller scale.
Yeah. I think the challenge for the modernist home is people do love them. And the problem is they are out there, and there's a misconception, particularly among the realtors and the appraisers. They look at them and they just look at it as a house. They want to pull a tape measure and go, it's this long, it's this wide, it has this much square footage in it. Now, what can we comp it to? You start comping them to, your 2 and 3 bedroom subdivision homes, and that's not a fair comparison for a modern home. I think that's coming around. I know George is certainly doing his part. We've been so pleased, and what we've learned, and just meeting George and being able to share the passion that George does for these, it's been very energizing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been inspirational.
And educational.
And very educational. I remember the first time that I heard from George, had finished a really cool modern home. And I don't know how he picks up on these and finds these homes, but I got this call from this guy out of Raleigh, and he wanted to know more about the home. And I'm just thinking, well, another sales guy here. I don't know what he wants from me, but turns out he was very genuine, and again, he gave credit to something. We went, hey, maybe we can do this. Maybe there is a market for it. People do appreciate it, and George played a huge role in that.
Oh, yeah.
And then a couple of local architects, Quinn Pillsworth. We had a joint venture with Quinn on a piece of commercial property, and we wanted to do something kind of neat. And Quinn said, well, why don't we do something with a modern flair to it? We went, modern flair? Really? We can do this? And we started there with the designs.
That probably really got the balls rolling for us. Yeah. Between that and meeting George, it became this, we can go this direction, which was very exciting.
And then, from that, making connections with Adam Sebastian. Adam gives me a call one day. He had been talking to George, and Adam's a local architect in the Winston-Salem area, and he wanted to meet me and have lunch and discuss modern homes again. And I'm going, well, I'm not qualified. I don't know what I can offer, but it was good. He was most generous with his time. He really, again, gave value. He kind of put us on a pedestal a little bit. We didn't know that there was any such thing. So,
no, it's true. Well, he knew you did quality work, and he'd seen your work and knew your reputation, and thought that would be a good venture to put you together with that. And it's been terrific because it gave us the confidence to move forward with the modern direction in Winston-Salem. So fun to be a part of that.
It is. It's good, but these guys have done a lot for the modernist movement, and we've just been very fortunate to be included with that group. I'll reiterate again, just just the simplicity of the modern home, but you can take it to any degree you want. But to be given the opportunity to build one for someone, but actually to be involved with their property and how the house sits on the property and the light. It's got to blend. It's got to look like it grew. It looks like it's got to grow out of the land. And again, I use the word again, sculpture. I think it should be something that's built to be there for a long time. I think that's what we really appreciate about the homes that were built in the 50s. They have an everlasting quality to them, and we think we owe it to the new homes to have something that's going to withstand time, that's going to be enjoyed generation after generation. There's something about a watch that we saw sometime. You never own the watch; you just pass it on. Whatever. I don't.
That's how homes should be too.
Yeah, a home should be something that is built to last and is nourished.
Home is nourished. It should be nourished with love and with friends and family, and you nourish your friends and your family in your home. And so the environment, artful, which modern home design is artful, feeds that. And that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing. That's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We do make a pretty good team, I guess.
Yeah, we do. While we meet with homeowners, because we just design custom work, we don't do any spec building, we always interview them to know their lifestyle and know what's important to them, and to know the lot that they're going to build on, and how it's situated in relationship to the natural surroundings, how it's situated in relationship to the neighbors for privacy, and how they want to live in it. The modern design, it's an open floor plan, and we think it's important to incorporate a lot of natural light and openness in windows. Placement of those windows and that light are all decided upon based on what's important to them and the lot and the surroundings, the environment. And the layout of the house, for example, we enjoy entertaining, and so the kitchen was open to the living room in this situation. For someone else, maybe they want it closed off, and so we do design according to someone's lifestyle, and the rooms that are most important will get the most attention. For space design, features like the wood beams here were important to us for the warmth that they added to the room. We debated a wood ceiling, but we thought that would bring it down. So all those questions, there's a lot of questions to work through.
We designed our own home, and moving from a larger craftsman style home that we loved, and we really enjoyed the space and entertained in it, and
it was very eclectic.
It was a very eclectic home. So when we decided to build our own modern home, we had to question exactly what it was that we wanted in the home. How did we live? Which direction did we want the house positioned? When we woke up in the morning, did we want to be east? Did we want to be west? We had the opportunity here on this piece of property to situate the house any way we wanted. We don't have immediate neighbors. It's not like we're in a grid and the house had to be this, but because it's just the two of us now, our kids are grown, we did a lot of soul searching as to what was important in the house, and decided that this space was very important to us. The guest bedrooms did not need to be so large. They're adequate for when we have guests. We really designed our own home based on our lifestyle, and we have been doing it for others for so long. I think maybe we became a little challenging for ourselves.
We identified the things that were most important to us: energy efficiency, longevity, low maintenance. So every decision we made, whether it was what refrigerator we're getting or what the siding on the exterior of the house was going to be, was driven by, did it meet the criteria for longevity, low maintenance. It might cost a little bit more up front, but in the long run, it was going to be a much more cost-effective and responsible decision, material choice, responsible financially, environmentally, all those aspects.
But if I could share with students of architecture, it is think a little bit outside of the box, but think in the box too. Take the box and create something with it.
Mm-hmm. And I would say that study all the wonderful, successful architects and the things they did, in addition to being creative, because I find I do oil painting, and sometimes you try to copy what someone else has done in order to learn the strokes. So I think with design and building, it's the same. Maybe you study and you learn and you emulate, but while you're doing that, you learn and understand structure and form, and you learn how to do something well. It's been done in the past. But with that, you have to allow your creativity to stretch it in new directions, so it has your own thumbprint on it. You want it to have your own style as well. And I think that's what we do well together. Mm-hmm. Is we might see something that inspires us because we see something someone has done that's done very well, and then we go, but what if you did this with that, and then pushed it in a whole nother direction? And that's very satisfying, and it puts your own name on it. But then you're not just doing something somebody else is doing, and that's where the gratification comes to play. If you do those things and you're not afraid to do that, you'll be very satisfied. You'll find your niche, whatever that might be.
And be open to thoughts and ideas that others have.
Yes.
It's been amazing over my career that my guys and all will be trying to solve some problem, and we've taken this approach, we've taken that approach, and then we'll have the high school or the college student that's working with us part-time, and they may say something like, I know this is a dumb idea, but what if? And we all just stop and go, that's it, that's the missing part. And encourage everyone to be open to the thoughts, and encourage those that don't think they have something to put in to just give it a try. Just jump.
Just try, just jump.
Just jump. You don't know, it's not as far as you think. Do it.